It hasn't been 2 days since Jellywig went back on his response video. Basically, Jellywig, yes, this person right here, responded back to Hassan saying, oh yeah, he used a shot caller. I'm not friends with Hassan. I'm not friends with 90% of the streamers. I only have real friends in real life. Basically, just like distancing himself away from the drama. Now, because he said that, a lot of people from Hassan's community have been, harassing, targeting him, saying, oh, you're this, you're that, and he's backtracked his
I
statement.
want to make sure if I know something, speak honestly. After my stream, I got close-up pictures of the shot collar on my mother's life. I didn't see prongs. I'm pretty sure it's a vibrate collar. So maybe I should have said 99% sure instead of 100. I'm not making any other comments about whether he has a shot collar, has shocked her, whatever. I never made a comment saying he shocked her to begin with, but I just genuinely saw a picture of it after. It did have tape, and the tape was, I think it was covering or had his phone number on it or some shit. That's what the tape was. I think it was like covering a written. And I saw pictures on my mother's life. I saw a picture of it. Perhaps he went out and bought one. Perhaps he went out and bought one, and this was a ruse to fool me. Perhaps stop farming it. I'm not farming it, but like I genuinely saw it. So it's like, am I supposed to sit here and not say I saw it? Because I saw this after I did the stream. Should I lie? Should I lie and say I didn't? I don't love this shit, bro. I'm just genuinely sitting here as a human. I saw it with my own eyes. And I went on live saying that it was a shot caller. So now I'm saying I saw it with my own eyes.
And Tectone puts it best here. Bro really saw his community consuming itself and bent the knee again. He put the collar back on. L Jellywig. Bro had aura for 2 hours and folded immediately. What makes this funnier is that he quickly confirms with QT Cinderella, like, hey, so it is a shot collar, or it's a collar that's been taped over with the prongs removed. Clearly, it's, taped over. There's no prongs, but, it's taped over. I saw it myself. And it's like, are you kidding me? And, Ludwig gets the confirmation photo of like, oh yeah, it's taped over. There's no prongs, but it's taped over. It has like his phone number. He may have bought a different one. Just L Jellywig at this point, man. And even Denims. Yes, Denims. This chick right here calls him out for his sociopathic behavior.
I said, like, yeah, there are some streamers that just, like, they give me the wrong vibe. Or, like, there are some streamers I just, like, I don't know, man. Or, like, I have my opinions on it, but, like, people aren't ready for it. I will say, Ludwig's definitely one of them. Where Ludwig kind of always gave me, like, sociopath vibes. Like, he's just in it for himself, and he doesn't give a shit about anyone else. And he's always given me that vibe. He's, like, there's a look that people give you. I think it's like social anxiety kind of made me more powerful and made me capable of like reading people a little bit better so that I can perceive the situation correctly so I can act correctly. But there are people who talk to you and they look at you, and there are people that talk to you and they look past you. And I don't know how else to describe this phenomenon. I will say, and it impacts how I judge people a lot, whether someone looks at you or looks past you. I will say, in a very bizarre turn of events, XQC was definitely someone who looked at me, not past me. And Lud was definitely someone who looked past me. Like, I don't know what other words to use to describe this. If you know, you know. Like, there's a level of, like, I don't want to call it intimacy because that's not the right word. Or rather, people have a certain connotation with that word that makes it into something more, like, romantic or sexual, and that's not my intention. I mean, like, intimacy in the most platonic way. So I'll try and find a better word, but, like, there are people who, like, hear what you're saying, and there are people that are trying to listen to what you're saying. And this was always a sus vibe. This was always a sus vibe. This was always a sus. I was always like, dude, this guy is definitely just, like, in it for himself. He's just gonna get his bag and, like, he's down to get the fuck out. He doesn't care about any of these people. These are, like, these are all just, like, pawns to him. And, like, the fact that it was so right is crazy. It's so crazy because he's literally saying it in this. He's like, I wouldn't go to any fuckers' funerals, and like 2 of these people are my real friends, and that's it. It's like, god damn, that's fucking cold. That's ice cold. And it's not the thinking it that's the cold part. It's the sharing it that's the cold part. Because if you're cold, if you're ice cold like that, you don't realize nobody else is thinking that way. And when you say that shit, it's weird to other people. Even people who don't fuck with this on, it's like, damn. You didn't fuck with him that hard, and you were just like, you were down to farm him when it was beneficial to you, and now that it's not, you're just like, you're dipping. That's ice cold. Holy shit. For no reason, you're just like, because people are coming in chat and being annoying.
I mean, there are some streamers that give you a bad vibe, but at the same time, it's like you gotta, actually look at them. And like, for example, Hassan Piker, terrorist supporter, terrorist glazer, Diddy party enjoyer, pretty bad guy if you weren't, mind controlled and brainwashed. But to give Ludwig an example, he's just spineless. That's just it. He's just a spineless coward for the most part. And she's right about him, getting money and just getting out. That's all he just needs to do for the most part. Just get money, get out. Now understand to the point where it's like, hey, I won't even go to these people's, funerals and stuff, which in my opinion, that's harsh. That's just me if I'm hanging around with like a bunch of people that I've like, talked to on the daily or just hang out with on the daily, or like weekly. I'm like, oh, I'll feel bad, pay my respects, But other than that, another spineless moment for Jellywig, and have a great day. And most importantly, drink your water, go for a run. I'm gassed. My cardio is horrible. Let's get started on today's video.